Almost 2 years ago, the NBA world simultaneously cheered. The four-headed monster of the Warriors has just been demolished, and the leading head is no longer a part of the equation. The league was in a beautiful landscape of duos left and right. From Jimmy Butler to Bam Adebayo, LeBron and AD, to Kawhi and PG. Parity has just returned to the NBA. And after a decade of dealing with super teams left and right, from the Big Three Heat to the Big Three Cavs to the KD Warriors, the change was very much welcomed. And the 2020 season, even though not to our liking, was beautiful. I mean, the playoffs played out like magic. Seriously, at the beginning of the season, if I told you the Miami Heat would represent the East after walking through the Eastern Conference with very minimal resistance, would you believe me? Or even more shockingly, if I told you that the Nuggets would go down 3-1 and then curb stomp the Clippers' confidence to the point that people don't even think Paul George is a superstar anymore, would you believe me? Most likely you wouldn't. Because those scenarios are just so unpredictable, you wouldn't think they would happen. As an NBA fan of the last decade, that's all you could ask for. Just a little bit of unpredictability. Because from 2011 to 2014, we could all definitely tell you that the Miami Heat was coming out of the East. And from 2015 to 2017, we could all definitely tell you that the Cavs were coming out of the East. And then from then on to now, we could all tell you nobody's beating the Warriors. But after last year's amazing season, this year looked to be just as good, maybe even better. KD was coming back, adding the Nets as the next duo into the equation. The Clippers revamped their team after getting completely thrashed. But even with those changes, you could never really tell who was gonna come out of either conference. And then this happened. The Nets decided they're just gonna go add a top 5 player in the NBA for all their depth. But they didn't look unbeatable. They had very little bench scoring, they're a middle of the pack rebounding team, and their defense was god awful. They weren't the death lineup unbeatable monster we've seen in the past 10 years. But just a couple days ago, Blake Griffin officially agreed to a buyout with the Detroit Pistons. And then this happened.
And the Nets are keeping it very interesting this season, now adding 6-time All-Star forward Blake Griffin to the squad. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, Brooklyn used one of its veteran minimum contract slots to sign Griffin, who will likely be used as a small ball center off the bench. Not only is he joining the Big Three on a quest for a title, but also former Clippers teammate DeAndre Jordan.
So let's talk about it. So is it just me, or does it feel like we'll never get true parity back in the NBA? No, because seriously, after KD took a year to recover, leaving the league in a certain level of fairness, he decided to come back and just say, yep, y'all had your fun. And since reuniting James, him and Jeff Green weren't enough, they decided to reunite Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, probably the most exciting duo of the past 20 years to watch when they were on the Clippers, effectively playing the buyout market like 4D chess. But let me be clear, I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is the 2012 jumping over IKEA and nuts on Pau Gasol's neck Blake. But this is still, when healthy, a guy 2 years ago that was putting up 24, 7, and 5 on 46% shooting and 36% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. Practically the best basketball of Blake Griffin's career. But I need to put some emphasis on healthy, because he hasn't been healthy for the past 2 years. With the same old nagging knee injury he's had since college, he's been in the middle of probably the worst season of his career. And it's gotten so bad to the point that a guy that was doing this nightly a couple years ago hasn't had a dunk all season. But after seeing this video I'm about to show you, this may be a bigger problem than we thought. Now, this is nothing compared to what Blake used to do. I'm not trying to blow this out of proportion, because we've seen him do way better stuff than this. But I'm not focused on the athleticism, more of just how he's moving. And he looks healthy. And that's the problem, because if he really Vince Carter the Detroit Pistons, we're screwed. And what I mean by Vince Cartering is playing to look like you're out of your prime to either get traded or bought out so you can join a contender. or even a better team that you're on right now. Vince Carter did this in 04-05, and Blake looks like he just did the same thing. And if Blake looks anything like his 2019 self, or even half as good, we have a big problem. Because a power forward that can stretch the floor and rebound well solves one of Brooklyn's biggest problems and gives them another offensive weapon. But what's even worse in my mind is if he's really past his prime and decides to really accept that 6-man role and come off the bench. Then he would definitely give Brooklyn the bench scoring they need when they don't have maybe 2 of their superstars in at the same time. And they can rest KD more. Now they have rebounding and scoring coming off the bench. And if you have an offense that efficient, I don't see a mediocre defense being as big as a problem as it was before. And what's even worse is that even though our defense was bad, it was slowly improving. With more added time with James Harden and KD and Kyrie playing together, they've slowly learned to work out the kinks, and it's slowly been getting better. But with adding a new piece, how hard the resets, the progress they've made, but with half the season left to go, that can easily be recovered. And Blake's never been known for his great defense in his career, but he's a very high IQ player, and I can definitely see him playing great team defense. And his chemistry with DJ would translate really well on this team. And if any more buyouts that we expect to happen for the Brooklyn Nets, there's literally nothing anyone can do anymore. And Lord knows I don't want to make another video on the Brooklyn Nets making a team even more unbeatable. But that's another topic for another day. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. We're almost at 250 subs. The last video was doing really well, so check it out if you want to. But this has been FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.
We love Margiela Mays. Margiela Mays, nigga, how much you made today? I put a pin in stick on my dinner plate. Me for a feature like how much you finna pay. You don't have to be something, but it's like minute. No slow grounds or cool me to OT.